Hello, everybody, and welcome to the JB&I show. I am your host, Isaac Middleton. And on the JB&I show, we talk about music, we talk about fitness, and we talk about other. Other is a category that you choose for me to talk about. This includes but not limited to like finance and the business of, whether it's the business of music, the business of acting, that type of a thing. And I'll talk about it. Today, we're going to talk about stress and the best ways of dealing with stress. There's many different levels of stress, and actually there are good stress. Yeah, good stress. No, but for real, there are good stresses that would actually help you. But then there are not so good stress or too much stress. All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. And stay tuned and let's get this thing rolling.
Hate mowing your lawn after working all day? Do you pay a service to mow your lawn? Are you a landlord that has multiple properties to mow? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may be interested to know that TerraHelix is working to develop the Lawntronic, an autonomous lawnmower. We know life is stressful, and we'd like to develop an alternative to mowing your lawn. Robotic lawnmowers on today's market lack basic features and have several critical issues that make their use impractical. The Lawntronic is being designed as a fully autonomous lawnmower to meet the needs of a wide variety of markets. Our goal is to create an autonomous lawnmower using technology similar to the technology used in self-driving vehicles. Simply set it up, plug it in, map out your lawn on your mobile device, and you're done. That's it. No boundary wires, no maintenance, no worries. Don't have an outlet outside? No problem. Our solar model will have you covered. Don't worry about cleaning the underside of the mower either. We'll have an option for that as well. Landlords will have it easy too, with the ability to manage multiple units from a single mobile device. Worried about security? We've got you covered. The Lawntronic will have a locked enclosure as well as GPS monitoring. If the Lawntronic leaves your lawn for any reason, you will be alerted with real-time video, similar to a smart doorbell. You will be able to see what is happening and be able to speak with anyone in proximity to the Lawntronic. Current robotic lawnmowers can get pricey. With the Lawntronic, we intend to offer a variety of pricing structures to fit the needs of everyone. Select your options and purchase a Lawntronic outright, or pay a monthly fee for a Lawntronic, like any utility. Lastly, we hope to partner with lawn service companies and government agencies to assist with the challenges they face. We are currently raising funds to complete our prototype. Check us out on Kickstarter. We have some awesome rewards for supporting us. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. If you are interested in learning more about the Lawntronic and our production roadmap, check out our other videos or visit TerraHelix.com.
So, how to deal with stress? What is the best way to deal with stress? What is stress? Stress is an activity that we go through or feel a pressure on or about either a thing or situation that either we can or cannot control. Example, paying your bills, that's stress. Dealing with children, that's stress. Dealing with parents, that's stress. Dealing with a death of a loved one, that's stress. Okay. Not seeing results of a particular thing, item, or effort, that's stress. Now, a lot of these can be good stressors because it forces you to think, it forces you to adapt, it allows you to grow And growth sometime work directly with stress. Growth, what they would call growing pains. Um, what is example of too much stress? A high stressful job is a high impact, high result, needed daily job type of a thing. Like, say for an example, you have to make 2,500 sales in a day, and in order to make these sales, you have to make 4,500 cold calls talking to people who don't even know of your existence before that phone call. That is a lot of stress, and you have to make these sales at the end of each day. A lot of stress. Okay. Some other examples of stress is knowing that the rent is due and knowing that you're short and you need X amount more dollars to pay the rent. That's stress. So you have to figure out how you can get this done. And the closer and closer it gets to this due date, the more and more stress you feel because you don't have it resolved yet. So, stress. Stress can affect the body adversely, health-wise, ulcers, mental breakdowns, all of that, high blood pressure, eating disorders, all of that. It can be a direct correlation with stress. I mentioned uncertainty in the form of not knowing if you're going to have a job next week, but knowing that you will have bills due next week, but not knowing if you're going to have a job. That's a lot of stress. And that's also something that you have no control over. So that compounds the stress because we begin to worry about this thing, especially if it's something dealing like a job and potentially not having that job. Yeah, it's a lot of stress. Okay. I mentioned children. You want your children to get the best education and be protected, to be happy, and all of that stuff. But life. And when you worry about your kids, when you know that they're okay, no stress. When you know that, they have to walk to school in a neighborhood that might not be safe, yeah, a lot of stress. So that type of a thing. Even dealing with parents. I mean, if you are an older child and you have an adult figure who you may be taking care of or something like that, you want to make sure that they are being taken care of and that they are happy and all of that stuff like that. And so you stress over those topics, those issues, you see. So all of that is stress. Some high stressful jobs may pay a lot, but you might work there 10 years and come out looking like you've been there for 40 years because of all the stress. It affects your nervous system. It affects your mental health. I mean, all of these different stresses can negatively impact you. Some of the positive influences is it does force you to adapt and change, and you grow stronger mentally and physically, and be able to problem solve a lot quickly with the correct amount of application of stress. So some stress is good, too much stress is bad. So it's like the salt thing. We all need a potential amount of salt in our diet, but too much salt is bad. Too little salt is not good either. So you have to have this right amount of salt in there. Same thing with stress. Okay. How to deal with these stresses in your life. Now, there's plenty more that I haven't covered, but I covered the basics as far as stresses and what it is and such like that. Now, how do you deal with this? There's several ways to deal with, stress relief or to bring you some calmness in your life. One major way is music, believe it or not. So I typed back into the channel, because this is a music channel. Anyway. So yeah, but listening to relaxing music, calming music, stress relieving music, meditation music, spa music, if you will, helps you, you know, helps you to relax, to unwind and everything like that. And that really do help. So that is one form of stress relief, is music. Listen to your favorite artist and your favorite song, you know, that you enjoy and like to dance to. Stress relief. Another way to relieve stress is exercise. And you don't have to exercise for 80 hours to get any type of stress relief. You can do a quick workout and be feeling better afterwards. You know, exercise does give you relief from stress. So exercise is another way to relieve stress. So all my home fitness people out there, continue to exercise. You know what I'm saying? And another thing we talk about on this channel is fitness. So another stress relief is talking to friends. You know, and it don't even have to be about the topic that's stressing you out. It could just be in general that helps you to relax and to, you know, stuff like that, that really do help. And if you are able, the next one I'm going to mention, but that is like a compounded type thing because it goes along with music, because sometimes you're so stressed out you can't do it, but after you listen to some music you can, and that is sleep. Believe it or not, if you're able to rest, get some sleep, you'll recover and you won't have as much stress. So that's definitely a way to relieve stress. So the next one is, depending on the category of stress, if it's more of a stressful situation or stressful thing that you're having trouble dealing with, then you can go to a doctor, a professional counselor to help you deal with your stress. You know, so you can even go and seek professional help, and they do have free professional help out there as well. So you can utilize that also to help relieve the stress or to relieve the stress. Another one, we mentioned music, we mentioned talking to friends. You can actually talk to yourself. It sounds funny, but you can actually talk yourself through it, especially if something that you've done already and you're just stressing over it because you probably haven't done it in a little while, or you're just nervous about it. So you could talk to yourself to calm yourself down, to bring yourself to a relaxed mode so you can get whatever you need to get done. So talking to yourself is a stress relief option. So that is an option. And for my religious people out there, you can read your religious book, like the Bible, that promotes stress relief. And you can talk to your religious representatives, such as your pastor, preacher, minister, priest, whatever. And that also helps you out for stress relief. So those are options that you can use to relieve stress. You know what I'm saying? And managing stress can be a challenge for some people. So you have helpguide.org, and you have the American Heart Association.org as well, and you also have healthline.com, or a couple of avenues that you can utilize to seek. You can Google it or search for it or whatever, and seek professional help, counseling, just someone to talk to. Okay. Now, we mentioned listen to music, talking to a friend, talking to yourself through it. We mentioned Bible verses, ministers. Another way that you could do stress relief, believe it or not, is you don't have to necessarily be directly with a person, but just go into a nice, comfortable setting, put on some nice music, you know, or just a nice ambiance. It don't even have to have music. Just a nice ambiance with people just, chatting and, drink some tea or some, I was gonna say coffee, but drink some tea or drink some, wine or some water, or just, to decompress, if you would. And, these different stress relievers will help you to re-engage into that item. Now, if it's something that you definitely need help on, and the stress is not going to go away until that issue go away, then you might need to seek professional help. If not in stress relief, maybe in the item that you need help in, if that makes any sense. So those are the ways that you can help relieve stress. And my favorite one is music, because I like listening to music and stuff like that, and that helps me. My other one is working out. And sometimes listening to music while I'm working out. Oh yeah. So be encouraged and continue to move forward and do good and all that stuff like that, okay? Because you're awesome. You're awesome because you're here, and you're here because you're awesome. So stay strong, stay focused, and stay motivated. All right, y'all. Until next time.